Thought I'd make a longer video for my YouTube channel, just kind of talking about things. I haven't posted on here in a while, mostly because I'm just active on, Threads because I'm gaining a bigger following through my art and my lifting. Um, but anyway, lately I've been kind of in ups and downs. Especially down about hearing about the THC ban that's potentially going into effect, mostly because those particular products like the sleep edibles have helped me actually go to sleep and stay asleep. I've tried melatonin in the past, and obviously my body gets used to it over time, so I have to stop taking it. But I'm probably going to just eventually stockpile up on a bunch of them just so I can have something to keep me going, at least until maybe some of this damage is reversed. But I've been very slow to draw again. I think it's just a lack of motivation to do it, because overall, when it comes right down to it, and I hate to say it, there needs to be financial incentive for me to continue to do something, because then that means someone values it. Because unfortunately, we live in a society where we put value in money. Like, we value money. We want more of it because that is our bartering system. But I'm still trying to keep at it. I'm just very slow at it right now. I probably might do like a drawing every week or two. It's better than nothing, though. But I'm also getting the itch, the desire to, just type out any like math or physics notes, whatever I know, in a way that might be digestible to, the layman, so to speak. And I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. I just mean that in like, the common person who wants to learn about physics or math. Just your average everyday person who wants to know more about it because they don't specialize in it, let's say. But I'm getting that itch. And so I just got my LaTeX account back up and running. So I'm probably going to just start making notes maybe during my spare time on the weekdays. I think weekends I'll reserve for doing this and also doing art. But I figure I would post on here, for any of my followers on Threads who are on here, what kind of subjects would you want me to tackle? Do you want me to write notes on algebra, trigonometry, pre-calculus? Is there a specific subject that you want to know more about, but you don't feel like you understand it or could understand it without a ton of background knowledge that maybe I might have, to where I can just look at this subject and actually write about it? So, if that's something that you're interested in, I could do that as well. But I haven't really planned too much about my future yet. And I think it's mostly just because I'm kind of stuck right now mentally. With the way things are going, the job market, I don't know if, me trying to move states, move where most of my family is located is going to be feasible. Granted, I could probably live with them for a little bit, but I would need to have a job. Given the job market right now, even like working retail, that's going to be tough, because how am I going to get the job if everything is automated? I have given up using Indeed. I haven't used Indeed at all. Actually, I saw a stupid ad for them today where they claim that they're the future for job seekers. No, I'm probably going to delete my account anyway. There's no point in keeping it if I can't get a job from a job board. What's the point of the job board? So, I'm just I haven't applied to any jobs, mostly because I know it's going to be a waste of time. So I'm trying to find a way to actually monetize myself and my skills. And the skills that I have are drawing, specifically doing like realism art, tutoring, math or physics, or, powerlifting. But granted, I don't have, a degree or certification in whatever that subject is. I think it's kinesiology. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, just feeling a little anxious about the future. I guess another thing is that I haven't given a lot. For those of you who might be panicking, I've given a chunk of money to some of my followers who are in need and need 20, maybe $50 here and there. So I've donated that to hopefully keep people sheltered. And the thing that made me feel good actually yesterday was that I at least helped keep a couple people housed, because I decided, well, not decided, it's like I see someone who is about to be homeless and they only need this much money and I have it. Am I going to let them be homeless? No. I'm that type of person where if someone needs help, either financially or just any other way, without really thinking much about it, unless it's something extremely dangerous, I immediately offer to help. I don't think about it. I don't think about what I get out of it. And it might be a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because that leaves the door open for people to abuse that. So I'm trying to find that balance. I mean, granted, I haven't given away what I could afford to lose, and some of the money that I've actually given away is going to be repaid back to me. Like, I gave some money to my friend to pay off a debt to get an apartment, so that'll be paid back over time. I'm not in a rush to get it. It's just I want the money back at some point because it's not even their debt. It's someone else's debt that, stayed on their report, their credit report, and is preventing them from getting an apartment. So, and then, I gave a little bit of money just to some people who need groceries. So, but that's really about it. The only money I want repaid was, that debt that I just mentioned, the apartment debt. But I'm not in a rush to get the money, and it's like I'm not charging interest. If I lend you money and I want the money back, I'm not charging interest. I don't do that bullshit. But yeah, I'm sitting here trying to think of ways to earn money on the side using my skill sets, without having to apply through a job board, because that's just there's nothing there. You can't convince me that there are jobs that I can just go out and apply for and get anymore, at least, without knowing someone. But it would be nice to have another stream of income, so that way I can take all the money from my current job, pay bills, and save a little, and then use the money from that secondary income stream to donate. But, I get it that people are a little hesitant and iffy to give money to people who probably claim that and state that, but, there are some of my followers on Threads who may even see this and, corroborate my story that, I did give them some money to help them with groceries for the day or two or for the week, so, but, and I don't intend on asking for that money back anyway, because I gave it for a reason. My basic belief is that my belief system is that if you are here on this earth and you are a good person, just overall trying to live their life normally, I believe that you have the right to housing, food, water, clothing. And, if you want to work, although I would also state a car is a necessity either way, in case you need to leave your location due to some emergency. So I believe that also people do deserve a car, just nothing super fancy, a basic car, something that gets you from point A to point B. You don't need a fucking Corvette. I don't need a fucking Corvette. Even if I had the money for a Corvette, I wouldn't get a Corvette. I would actually just still keep my basic car and just save that money. So, but, I'm just sitting here thinking of other ways to earn money on the side, maybe doing tutoring notes, for math or physics, or even breaking down homework problems for people who just don't understand their homework. Will I do your homework? No, but I can make problems that are very similar to your homework problems and just tell you how to solve them. And then you can apply it from there. That's actually how I solved most of my homework problems early on, is that I figured out that one group of problems were all pretty much the same. So I just only had to do one problem and I could do the whole set. So it's that simple. You know, there's that, and also, you know, I work out, I power lift, so I have a decent physique. So I could do like you know, I could just sell photos online of me posing, doing like bodybuilder poses, you know, for people who like that. I don't mind it. Because, I mean, quite frankly, you know, as someone, you know, put it, as some of my followers have put it, you know, not only do I create art, but your body is also a work of art. Your body tells, like, the way you are built, the way you choose to keep yourself is, you know, art in itself. You know, for me, I'm choosing to at least live a decent lifestyle, like an active lifestyle. Could I eat better? Sure. Could I train better? Yeah. But I do this all for fun. I do it mainly to get strong and just to maintain myself, so that way when I'm older, I won't need the assistance of like a walker or, you know, a wheelchair. I don't want to be wheelchair bound. But granted, you know, I can't control every single outcome, so, you know, whatever happens, happens. At least I'm working to avoid that. But, you know, there's that, and also selling art prints. But, you know, I haven't had luck so far, but I'll admit I haven't been keeping track of my Patreon as much as I should, because I don't really expect it to take off. You know, despite having like 1,000 or 1,100 followers now on my Threads page within like 4 months, I don't expect it to take off. So, you know, I just didn't really check it as much. But I am probably going to actually start committing to an actual plan. I think finally it's just, I'm bored enough to actually try. So, but anyway, I just wanted to talk about that stuff. Yeah, I'm feeling very antsy as well. Like, I want to go on another road trip at some point, because, man, I just miss the West Coast. That road trip I took back in July was just something else. And that will be another video. I'll make a full video talking about the trip. So I'll post that later.